Welcome to the City of Orville Planning Commission / Historical Advisory Committee meeting of March 26, 2026. If anyone would like to speak on any items that are on the agenda tonight, please fill out a blue speaker card and turn them into the city clerk. Please call roll.
Commissioner Zilich.
Present.
I note Commissioner Smith absent. Commissioner Jensen.
Here.
Commissioner Hamilton.
Present.
Commissioner Rossi.
Here.
Vice Chair Sheard. Here. Chair Jenkins.
Here.
Thank you.
Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak on an item which is not on tonight's agenda?
I have no submitted speaker cards.
Thank you. We will open the public hearing, and if it's okay with the commission, we would like to renumber the order to 1, 2, 6, 5, 3, 4. Commissioner okay?
Sure. As long as you remember exactly.
I've got it wrote down, if everyone's good with it.
Yeah, I can't. I was going.
Okay, we will open the public hearing and staff report for item number 1, please.
All right, good evening. Good evening, commissioners. Is this working? Okay. Yeah, so first item that I have for you tonight is use permit 2604, and this is non-commercial equine use at a residential property, APN 033410002. The applicant is proposing to allow non-commercial equine use on a 1.65 acre residential parcel located at 49 Oak Avenue within the RL Large Lot Residential Zoning District. The project includes construction of a small accessory livestock shelter consisting of 2 stalls designed for the personal keeping of 1 horse and up to 7 goats for non-commercial purposes. The proposed use is limited to non-commercial animal keeping and will not include boarding, breeding, riding instruction, or other commercial agriculture activities. The Orville Municipal Code does not list equine use as a permitted use within the RL zoning district. Therefore, the applicant is requesting approval through the use permit. As part of the project, so as you can see here, I have the table posted about what uses are and are not allowed. Equine use is specifically not listed in RL, and we do have a maximum number of goats allowed at the property. We did move that up from one goat request to 7 goats following the Development Review Committee after speaking with the applicant, because the goats are used for assistance with vegetation management and weed abatement on the property. And then some more information, the horse is a pony gelding mixed with Mustang. It's measuring at approximately 13.4 hands. The horse will be kept at the property full time. And then the residents do currently have the multiple goats. They are just requesting to keep them there legally. The proposal did include a stall. Planning has reviewed this already and approved the stall with the approval of the building department as well. This is not really part of the application, but this is how it came to the attention of the Planning Commission because the use specified for a horse, which was not allowed. So staff is recommending that we conduct a public hearing on the proposed use, adopt the notice of exemption under section 15303 under new construction of small structures, approve the use permit UP 2604, and adopt resolution number P 2026-08. And the applicant is here via Zoom if you have any questions for her.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have anyone here from the public who wishes to speak on this item?
I have no submitted speaker cards, but I did receive one comment by mail. It was in support of this from somebody in the area.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, for the record, her name is Claudia B.
Thank you. Does the applicant wish to say anything on Zoom?
No, I just we would like to keep our animals here. We've had our goats for years. I did not know that we were breaking any rules, so I apologize for that. So we're just trying to make it all right now.
Thank you. May have questions from the commission. We will close public hearing and limit discussion between commission and staff. Questions, comments?
I just wanted to throw out there that one of the reasons why the DRC committee was okay with moving this forward with up to 7 goats is because the goats not only take care of their property, but they take care of neighboring properties as well. So it's not just like 7 goats in one little area. They wander around. They actually inherited a couple of the goats from one of the neighbors who had them taking care of their property. They couldn't take care of them anymore. So there was a lot of reasoning behind it, but we didn't see any reason to worry about it.
I live in the neighborhood, pass by there all the time. I've never experienced or witnessed any nuisance from the presence of the animals of this property, so I'm perfectly good with this.
It's also very steep terrain too. It's 1.65 acres, but it's right over there by where Devil's Dip is, so it's pretty steep terrain.
And we appreciate the weed abatement and the fire management because
Yes, we
it is a
do.
big concern in our neighborhood, something that's related to this that I'll decide I'll bring up in the commission reports later on, so.
Yes, you guys actually are my neighbor, and I have, exactly, I live right next to you. So I have zero, I mean, I guess I can recuse myself, but I would have zero issue with this
But you're
at
in
all.
support,
Thank
yeah.
you so much, yes.
I'm just
Thank
wondering
you.
if for 1.65 acres, you just should be able to have a horse by right. Like, I don't know, I know that's another
I will
discussion.
be bringing that up.
Okay, I was gonna, and some goats, especially if you live in a fire area. It just seems like we really shouldn't be, it seems like it should just already be allowed.
I've already notified.
Okay, cool, wonderful.
Any other questions or comments? Open for a motion otherwise?
I'll make a motion to approve item number 1 as agendized.
I'll second.
Thank you. Please open voting. Thank you.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
We will move on to item 2, staff report, please.
Next item tonight is a use permit 26-05 for an 85-foot freeway-oriented sign at APN 035030108. So the applicant is proposing construction of an approximately 85-foot freeway-oriented freestanding sign associated with the new Chick-fil-A restaurant development at 310 Oroville Dam Boulevard East within the C2 zoning district. Freeway-oriented signage exceeding standard height limits of 80 feet require approval through a use permit pursuant to the Oroville Municipal Code. The proposed sign is intended to provide visibility from nearby highway corridors and serve the commercial development currently under construction. The proposed sign will function as on-site commercial identification for the restaurant and will not include additional commercial advertising unrelated to the business. At the Development Review Committee, we had some discussions, specifically, we did not request that they do a balloon test due to balloon tests already being done nearby, but the applicant did already go ahead and do a balloon test for us, which was pretty awesome of them. It was conducted, and we have the photos that they submitted on pages 67 and 77 in your packet that show what it looks like from many different angles nearby. The DRC commissioners also expressed interest in incorporating enhanced design elements at the base, such as architectural cladding, decorative features, landscaping treatments. Here we have the original proposal, and then your blue sheet tonight has what they have submitted in response to those DRC comments. And then Staff has also identified the presence of overhead utility lines in proximity to the proposed sign location and has recommended coordination with PG&E just to get clearance from them before building. Staff has not received an update about that yet, but we can add it as part of the conditions if the commission sees a reason to do so. So yeah, here are the photos. Your packet also does have a lot of other things included in it, such as all the other signs on the building, but for reference, we are only really talking about this one tonight. So staff is recommending that we conduct a public hearing on the proposed use, adopt notice of exemption under section 15311, which is regarding accessory structures and uses, approve the use permit 2605 with the recommended findings and proposed conditions, and adopt resolution number P 2026-09.
Thank you. We will open the public hearing. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to comment on this item?
I have no submitted speaker cards.
Thank you. We'll close public comment. And does the applicant wish to speak on this item?
Who is it?
We were expecting a Rhonda tonight. I don't know.
I have somebody named Steve R. who's raising their hand.
Okay.
Give me just one moment. Hi, Steve. I've given you permission to talk.
Well, thank you very much. My name is Steve Rosenblum. I'm actually, Rhonda works with me as well as the person that submitted, Casey. And so I decided it would probably be best for me because I happen to be the person that was lucky enough to do the flag test. And I was amazed. I have done this for many, many years. Two of the city staff members came with on the flag test. Absolutely amazing. Normally, cities don't care enough to do that. So that was really cool. But we did that, and when I say flag test, balloon test, same thing. We did that. That's how the height was determined. So this was the right height for the sign that allowed you to read the entire sign. The power lines, I noticed those while I was out there, but they're in a safe area. We aren't going to have any concerns with that. But for our own, most importantly, our team's safety, that is utmost consideration for any project we do like this. But we have no problem if you want to condition it because we are going to double and triple check that before we ever take risks for our team members. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
Hi.
Thank you. There may
I'm
be,
Rhonda. I'm here as well, just in case.
thank you. There may be questions from the commission. Just a minute. We will close public comment and limit the discussion between commissioners and staff. Do we have any questions or comments from commissioner?
What's the landscaping like that's required? Because you said cladding isn't required, but landscaping is?
Yes, and Wes can speak on this a little bit as well, but I believe that we did exempt the tractor
Supply.
We did,
tractor
because it was in
supply,
the back, yeah.
because it was in the back with
Right.
cobbling. This is also in the back of the property for your consideration.
And it looks like they added the cladding all the way up.
Yes.
They made it thicker.
Well, they put it's an aluminum frame. It's architectural. It's not just a pole.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a complete pole cover. It's an aluminum pole cover that covers the entire pole all the way up.
It is nicer. The original looked a little bit flimsy, and I not that I'm a structural engineer or anything, but yeah.
okay.
We're open for a motion.
Wait, so did you say we're waiving the landscaping?
We have done it before in the past, but it is your guys' decision.
Well, what is required in the code?
The requirement is that there'd be a box around the base of the pole, and that it be landscaped and maintained, but in this case, there's nothing there but cobble. So it would actually be probably a great difficulty in order to landscape
And
and
it's just
to
in the back.
maintain it. Yeah.
No one ever walks there, okay.
But it will be visible though where the pole is located, unlike at Tractor Supply. So I
See,
don't
that's
think
what I
we-
was wondering.
Yeah, so I think we keep the.
I know, I was thinking this was more visible from the road.
And perhaps I can ask you guys, if you go to the site plan that's in the presentation, that may help, because right now it's designed to fit right within what's all there already.
Yeah, I was
It's,
gonna say,
no
it's not
landscape.
It's
empty around
number
it.
G on page isn't numbered. Oh, there it is.
37, right?
36 of your packs.
And it's in the back of the building and next to parking stalls.
Yeah, it's as close to
So
the
the base is
freeway-
really not
Close to the freeway. as
visible
you
from
can
the
get it.
freeway. It's not gonna be visible from the base of the sign is not gonna be visible at all.
Yeah. My concern is, obviously landscape, no problem, and any of that can be done, but I think it's gonna look out of place where, the site is designed by an architect to have that look. And so I think if you added it, it actually may look out of place instead.
Well, on the site plan, it's at location G, right?
Yeah.
Where the-
Correct.
Okay, where the parking lot is, so,
It's right behind the trash structure.
I mean, I certainly would prefer to have landscaping around parking lots when people are parking at, and visiting our town myself, so.
Yeah, that's correct. It looks like it's there is on the site plan that's illustrated. There's two locations presented. It's at the back of the lot, on the north side of the lot. Looking at the document that I have on the presentation package.
But next to a parking lot.
That's correct. Behind the trash enclosure next to parking.
Yes. I don't know, I think it should be landscape. That would be mine.
Yeah.
We are open for a motion.
Is it a light sign?
I believe so, yeah.
So the motion is going to be, you have to pardon me, I have to go back just a moment. There was an option about adding a condition, what was that condition again?
The PG&E clearance condition.
Yeah,
So
I don't know where those are, so.
what is the current requirement for landscaping for the property? Have they already submitted a landscape plan for the property?
The landscaping plan should be under the building permit plan. That's all tied together with the building permit.
Right, was that already
They
approved
do
for
have a
you?
landscaping plan.
Does the landscaping plan show anything in the area where the sign's gonna be, the current plan already?
I'm not sure, that's in the building department.
Okay, so I'm just saying it might be a moot point, because they already submitted some kind of landscaping drawing. There might be something there already, I don't know.
That dot, those little tiny dots there, stippling, I do remember seeing the landscape plan, and that is generally all irrigated landscaping.
That's kind of what I'm seeing. That's, yeah,
I just wanna make sure that happens. According to that landscape.
because you have the same diagram all the way around the building. So it's the same call out. So I don't think they're gonna have a field of cobble out there. So in my opinion, that they're gonna have the same landscaping, and it even includes around the sign. Because it's the same,
Well,
it's all the same.
I'll move to approve item 2 as agendized.
And so we're saying that includes the landscape.
The landscaping, I don't know about I don't know about the electrical utility stuff, so.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion passes, 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay, we are going to go to item,
Six.
yes, item 6 will be next. Staff report for item 6, please.
Commissioners, this is a revisit of the discussion we had at the last Planning Commission meeting for an extension of the tentative map for the 711 Montgomery 12-unit townhome complex, which was approved in 2022. This would be the last possible extension according to the Subdivision Map Act. to April 8th, 2027. And when this came before the commission last time, there was some public comment and some discussion, and there was a request to have the applicant here to talk about its capacity to build this project before discussing or granting the extension. The applicant is here, Jason Henry from Veterans Housing, and Amy Bergstrand, our housing director, is also here to address any questions that the commission might have. So otherwise, it's a simple one-year tentative map extension.
Thank you. This is regular business, but do we have any public comment on this item?
Yes, excuse me. We did receive electronic comment on this item from Marcia Henderson and Denise Kratzer. Both of those have been printed and they are on your dais for consumption. Also, they were sent to you via email as they came in. Additionally, we do have some speaker cards here today. We have 3 on this item. We'll begin with Marcia Henderson and follow that with Christine Hill.
Good evening. I hope you got a chance to review the email I sent this morning. The City of Oroville began its partnership with VHDC in the latter part of 2019 with the transfer of 8 properties. It was a win-win situation. The city could partially satisfy low-income housing requirements, and our low to very low-income veterans could get into affordable housing. As with most partnerships, there were intentions and expectations. The city expected minimum monthly progress reports, either written or oral, per the ENA. My interest in this project was sparked in 2021 when one of these 8 properties, a vacant neighboring house, fell into disrepair and was the target of transient activity and police responses. My neighbors and I did not feel safe. I contacted the city with photos in April of 21 to make the city aware of the situation. February of 22, I sent photos to VHDC. I had a pleasant conversation with Brad Long after that, and he stated that it was difficult to work with the city to get permits, contractors, etc. In August of 24, I again reached out to them and was told that the project should be underway sooner than later. The remodel was completed in 2025, but it is not maintained and risks falling again into disrepair. Fencing and gating are failing, weeds in the front are 3 feet high, and a tree has fallen against the back wall of the house. 3 of the other homes have been remodeled and have sold for $6,000, $236,500, and $347,000. It must be difficult to find low to very low income veterans that will qualify for loans at these latter 2 prices. I think that at some point, as with any partnership, we have to take a step back and say, is this working for us? Is there good communication, transparency, and are those intentions and expectations that we started with being met? The city had given property and money to VHDC in good faith that it would be used to house our low-income veterans. I know that nonprofit organizations have financially challenging times, but so do the veterans that are waiting to get into these homes. The city needs to ask, why aren't these small projects finished so that the veterans can benefit? And does the city really want to pursue an extension of a project that may also go unfinished? Not all partnerships are successful. Not every team player is a good fit for the other. That doesn't make it a bad team. It just means that maybe it's the wrong team. Sometimes we have to go searching for a different partner if things don't work out. I selfishly want to see the home on Baldwin Avenue occupied for the health of our neighborhood. And at the end of the day, we all want the same thing, to honor our veterans, put them into affordable homes where they can feel safe and secure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have Christine Hill.
I lived next to that house, and I have for 7 years. It's been repeatedly squatted. They started a fire in it, and I have to report the weed condition being up here several times a year. It is not being properly taken care of. There have been repairs to some of the inside. It is not habitable. I've given them 7 years, to finish it. I think that's a little excessive. I don't think that they should have the same opportunity to do that to Montgomery Street, I protest. Obviously, you know how I feel because we are not safe there. I wake up in the middle of the night when I hear a noise. And I was burned out in Paradise, so you know how I feel about the fact that the house had a fire. The fire department didn't even knock on my door. I found out in the morning. I am very displeased. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I have for speaker cards on this item.
Thank you. We will close public comment. Does the applicant wish to speak on this item?
So my name is Jason. Housing Officer for Nation's Finest. I've recently taken over the responsibilities of also managing the Veterans Housing Development Corporation. I myself am a Navy veteran. I say that only to sort of express my desire to also house our veterans who are in need, and I've been working with this organization doing that for 15 years now. To specifically address Baldwin, as I said, I recently just took over the responsibilities of trying to get our VHDC squared away. I acknowledge that there's been lots of challenges with that property. I saw it for myself the first time today. And you're right, like the weeds are out of control. It doesn't look good, and I share the same concerns that you do. As of this morning, I talked to my very large staff of one, and I asked her to coordinate getting some landscapers out there to take care of that, so at least it looks more presentable. The reason that it has not sold yet is because, one, the cost of going through a real estate agent, basically, it is, so the way these houses work, I'll back up for a second, is when the property is sold, we take the entirety of whatever profit there is from the sale of the house and put that into the next home, for the rehabilitation or remodel. We don't have millions of dollars of seed money to be able to just develop these properties, right? We are a small nonprofit. And so to use a real estate agent to sell these homes, it takes money away from the next home. Not only that, because we are targeting veterans, real estate agents are not allowed to, discriminate on who they can sell a house to. However, we do because we're saying this is supposed to go to a veteran, right? So those two reasons sort of prohibit us from using a standard way to sell a home, which means we have to use our internal channels, which is what we do. We put it into the community. Our idea and how the other properties have been sold is to put it through our network of the Nation's Finest side of the house, in which we serve close to 3,000 veterans a year in either transitional housing projects or through our rapid rehousing programs that we have. And that's been moderately successful, but in this case, we are not making progress. And I don't have any good justification or reason why outside of we just simply haven't found an appropriate buyer. Apparently we had an interested party. They came, they viewed the property, engaged with some of the neighborhood, and then didn't want, for whatever reason, which I do not know, didn't want to go through with the purchase. So here we are back to trying to use our internal networks with what we have. So that's where Baldwin Street sits right now. I apologize about the conditions of the property and the fact that it's sat vacant for this long. I share your concerns. I walked in the backyard. There's an old broken down shed out there, perfect for someone to live in. All I can do is tell you that we are trying our best to sell this property with what limited resources we have. In terms of, any questions on that so far? Okay, in terms of the Montgomery, of course, we are asking to get the map extension. We have been unsuccessful thus far in finding funding that would allow us to move forward on the property itself. The reasons for that is that it's small. Again, we do not have millions of dollars sitting around to put as a development seed to begin construction ourselves. We must find financing. Being as small as we are with VHTC, we simply cannot afford a large construction loan because we can't afford a monthly payment on it. So we have to find different ways. And those ways just haven't shown themselves. We have tried to connect with Calvet to see if they can help. We've been unsuccessful there. Our model was to try and utilize the same sort of process as the houses, the Argonaut, the Baldwin. And again, we've been unsuccessful. Property does not allow us to pursue traditional funding streams like tax credits because it is small and because we're selling these units to, for permanent occupancy. It's not like a lease or a larger apartment complex for low income. We recognize that because this is an entryway into the city, the commission doesn't want to have a large apartment complex there. We understand that. So from our perspective on Montgomery Street, our main priority is to simply maintain a good working relationship with the city. You guys have to do what's best for your community. I'm here to tell you that the prognosis, in my opinion, of finding a wonderful miracle funding stream to be able to build those units, I don't know what that is right now, but another year just gives us that time to keep exploring, and that's really the extent of it. So, any questions on that piece right there?
There may be questions
Okay.
after your
Okay, very good. I'm not
presentation.
familiar with these sort of processes.
It's all right.
Like-
Yeah, it's just if you wanted to come up and say something, and then commission may have some questions.
Very good. So that's our stance really on Montgomery itself. It's time is all we're asking for. We are interested in trying to make this work. We really are. Nothing has proven fruitful yet.
Thank you. Questions or comments from commission? Or does housing wish to say anything, or only have questions? Thanks.
Well, yeah, I have a question.
Sorry, I don't know if that's.
Oh, from Amy.
Okay, go ahead, go.
You too, sure.
I'll stay up here.
Do. So I want to understand, because I know there was like 1.75, 1,750,000, and I don't understand all that, but some type of loan that funds were dispersed to the organization. So I want to understand how that works and exactly how much has been dispersed to them, and then are those loan payments? Is there interest? Like, how does that work?
So the 1.75 million was just, half of it was dispersed, so the first tranche, but that was not for this property. This is for 1275 Mitchell, which is the courtyard project, where that will be a permanent supportive housing project behind what's currently the city's courtyard. They are in the middle of design. They are getting ready to apply for tax credits, not this next round, but the round at the end of the year for that project. It's a two-phase, 30 units, and then another 30-unit project. And it's come to Planning Commission, and it's come to council. So that is what that funding source is.
Okay, so the whole amount is for that project.
And so it's for design and construction if they're to get into it, and it is a residual receipt loan, but the interest rate doesn't start until they convert to their permanent financing. So that's that.
Okay.
So, first of all, I want to make sure thank you for coming today. You're not on trial. We have a lot of people that have asked us a lot of questions as we're planning commission. What's the plan? What's next? It's been so long. It's been so many years. I might go have a cup of coffee in town or something, and somebody says, John, you're on the planning commission. Can you find out what's going on? Why have they not moved forward? And then we get this extension, and I know you have the other bigger project that's already going. So my thought is, do you have too many items on the plate? Is this one simply going to fall off? Is this basically, we're going to extend this for a year for what? Because if you're already in design on that one, the loan is based on that one, something needs to happen to that one first, and as you're a smaller nonprofit, all your resources are going to be taken up with the much bigger project. Totally understandable, no fault, no issue, no complaint, no nothing. But that leaves us with, like you said, the entryway into our town, coming right down our main street, coming right into our beautiful downtown. You're seeing the bare lot, which is better than the motel that was there for all those years, but it's still just a bare lot with broken, horrible sidewalks, horrible curb and gutter, and all that's gonna get fixed when the development takes off, whoever develops it. But knowing that we're gonna have to stare at that for another year, and knowing the percentage of the chance that is something gonna get built there or not, that's why, personally, I'm reluctant to grant the extra year extension, because I know you have so many eggs in another basket. Is this just gonna sit for another year? That's all. And I know you can't tell us that. Who knows? The funding could come tomorrow. But that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, no, I get the, totally understand the concern, 100% on board with that. Again, I spoke with the CEO about this just the other day, and, both of us are of the same opinion that our relationship with the city is what is of paramount importance, because we do have this really awesome project that we're building there at Courtyard. It does dominate our time. He and I are both, in agreement that if the city decides that to not grant the map extension, because that is what is in your best interest, like, okay, I'm not here to try to sway you in another direction. I want to be transparent with our abilities and what, where we actually stand today.
Can I ask a question about the other houses? I think, aren't there like 3 other houses or 4
I think.
that still don't have veterans in them?
We've sold 3 of the, or,
So Baldwin is the only one that does not have veterans,
Yes.
other than Glen, which is a house that has significant work that needs to be done. And what happens is, once they sell Baldwin, they'll have the funding to rehab the next house.
And that's,
The other-
okay.
The other properties are vacant properties that don't have any houses on them, so they will need to be built. And there's 2 lots, one on Pomona and a one on Beach.
So what does it look like for those lots?
that's farther into the future than, I'm not a development expert, right? Like, the way I'm operating right now is, let's get Baldwin sold so we can continue that model, move on to Glen. After that, it's gonna be the same situation, trying to take whatever we get to make off of the sale of the property and put it towards the next project.
Okay. It's hard for the city, very
Sure.
hard to have vacant lots and vacant properties that are unable to be bought or sold. They're off limits, and so
Yeah.
it's really hard. So I'm
understand.
glad that it's a limited amount.
And I will say the vacant lots, if, the city doesn't have the funding source to build them either, and the cost to build houses right now is super expensive, so that's why they weren't built out when I first started here, when Pat was here, and that was in, 2008, 2009. We had those properties and we were doing infill, and the very last one on Pomona, we couldn't justify building it for what we could sell it for, and we're kind of still in that situation.
But if they're for sale, there's a hope.
Yeah, but
If
those ones
it-
are vacant, so, yeah.
I know, but even if it's a vacant lot and it's for sale, people are building in Paradise all the time and they're selling. So, but a lot that is vacant, that is restricted like this, we can't do anything with. It's completely, so there's just not as much hope. To me, there's more hope if it's available.
So if the extension wasn't granted, what is the capability of the city to do something different with the land?
So, the property is not an old RDA housing property, so there isn't a complete affordability restriction, which some of our properties are. So
Oh.
what that means is, if they were purchased with, or loans were provided that were old RDA property, then they would have to maintain affordability. This property was not, but we do have the Surplus Land Act that restricts us from just selling it to anybody. When this property came up, we got an exemption from the state to sell it because affordable housing was going in, so we didn't have to go through the whole process. If this doesn't go through, then we have to go through the process, which we would have to put out a notice to all affordable housing directors, or, developers, schools, public or parks districts, and I think transportation districts, for them to get offers from them on development that they want. It's a period, I believe, 60 days that we have to accept offers, and if we receive any, then we have to negotiate for 90 days. If it's a housing component, there is a requirement that it always will have to have at least 25% of it affordable, of the units affordable. So even if we were able to develop it for commercial use, if in 20 years down the road it converts to residential, it will have a covenant recorded that will require that it be affordable. So that's the process. We haven't gone through that process because all the properties that we've had exemptions for. So, you know, we'll be having to work with David Ritchie in the process of moving forward. But
Okay.
So from what I understand, then there's a possibility of a process to take the property back to do something else with it.
This one on Baldwin, when did you acquire it?
I believe it was in 2022, around then, and then there was a fire. And they had a contractor that didn't fulfill their obligations, so they fired them, and then they had to hire another one.
So is this a property that was donated to them from the city? It was a city property that was donated?
Yes,
Okay, now, the requirements are what with that they have to sell it to a veteran specifically,
low-income veteran.
or they lose it?
Not necessarily lose it, no.
They can
So
keep it
are they allowed
indefinitely.
to just market it normally to raise capital, to finish some of these other products or projects?
Have to sell it to a low-income veteran. So they can market it however they need to market it. But he was just stating that it's expensive for them to go through a real estate agent. That's why they haven't done it, so.
Well, I mean, if there's a deed restriction on that property, and Bud, maybe, I mean, if there's a deed restriction that says it has to be sold to a veteran, low-income veteran, I mean, I'm assuming there's a way around that, right, Bud? I mean,
Call them out on the spot.
yeah. What's the low-income veteran, I mean, what's the price? I mean, it's worth what, about 200, 150, 180, something like that?
I don't have the answer off the top of my head.
Then they
Well,
just sold
according to
one for
Zillow,
347.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
They just sold another house for 347, so that's not really low income in our
Well, no, I know,
area.
so I mean,
But-
That
What's
was
low
sold a
income?
few- It was sold a couple years ago, but the, so for CDBG, for federal funding, and the purchase price limit right now is $420 for a brand-new house or $390 for an existing house. So it is considered within the
doable.
affordability.
Yeah,
So that's the low-income
Yeah.
threshold is 320?
wow.
$320 for an existing property.
Yeah.
So
We have,
that house is far below that
Yes.
value.
For sure.
Right.
So, but they would use like a market value or appraisal to get that come to the purchase price of the house. I'm
Right.
assuming that's what you do. I don't know how they've set their prices. That's what we do.
And you have no veterans interested or qualified at that price point?
Not today. That's the challenge, right? Like, we find a veteran that fits the category, we would help them work through the CalVet system. The challenge is locating a veteran who is either close enough that can go and view the property, is, again, within our network, and, you know, we can present the process to them.
Okay. Well, then let me ask you this. If you're having trouble trying to find veterans to buy that house at 200 grand, how are you gonna find veterans to buy these that are gonna be, I don't know what the price point is on these new ones?
Are you talking about the Montgomery?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
That's the
definitely a
same.
consideration, yeah. I mean, what,
We met with Tori, who works for VHDC and Nation's Finest this week, and we discussed this, and we asked about that as well, because the price point they were looking at is in the 300s. She said, I think 325 to 350. They were going to be, I think, 1,200 square feet or something. And the veterans that would go into these, if they were ever built, would not necessarily be extreme. They would be under the 80%, but they have more income, 80% of area median income. But they have more income because they have retirements. And a lot of the ones that are in the other ones have, they don't they didn't retire from the vets, then they weren't disabled. They get money for disability, not just the retirements. So they have more money than some of them. Potentially.
So it kind of seems like we're going down a rabbit hole,
Yeah.
because really the only thing is just, do we want to extend the permit or not to be able to do
You're right.
this?
We don't have to analyze the whole program.
That's what I'm saying. So to me, my only consideration and point to this is, obviously, we don't want to make a lot more work for staff, but at the same time, you have a big project going on, you have other houses, you have other lots, you have other things. I mean, can we ask you for a suggestion, or are we, I mean, what do you guys want to do?
Well, I don't want to
wanna put you on the
extend
spot.
it.
I'm just-
I feel like we're just gonna be back here in a year.
100%.
And so we might as well just do it now.
Can I ask a question of Amy? Let's say we do not extend the map for another year. How long would the process take for us to find another user?
A year.
Well, yeah, a year.
I would say a year. So then we'd be 2 years
But
out.
do
if we
you
wait.
hear what she said, though? This is gonna have to go out on the block for.
Yes.
For low
For
income.
low income.
Yeah,
Right.
it could be another.
150 units
yeah.
that were already built.
Yeah.
Well, so anyway, okay. It's
So,
interesting you call it low income. There's cute houses on Montgomery that are, I just saw one for $249, cutest little house, detached garage. I mean, it's almost like you should help vets get in those affordable homes. But, so this term low income is ambiguous to me.
Okay, but it has to be opened up for
Right.
all low income. The same developers. who built the-
25%, she said.
No. If we keep the exemption that it has now and it goes out, if we go through the process, we have to put it out to all low affordable housing directors or developers. But also it goes out at the same time to school districts and park districts. And then whoever comes to us with an offer, that then we start negotiating with them for the best offer, best use. The direction is that they want the most housing. So if a housing developer comes in and a housing developer says, I'm gonna have this many units, and if it's low, how many of them are affordable, how many are not, then they will get the highest consideration. The state has to approve anything that we accept. So any offer that we get or we
Like this
decide-
one. It's just how we got this one approved.
It could be
Well-
like Lincoln or Table Mount, or
Yeah.
Table
Yeah,
Mountain.
but at the same time, so if we get an affordable housing offer, but we also get something from the school district to use it for whatever purpose, they're gonna look at it and say, well, we want housing, so they'll go with the housing. But if we don't get any housing developers that offer, and we only get a commercial, we only get something else, then we look at that best offer and we go down.
So if we get a low income offer and we get a standard developer offer, the low income offer is going to win. That's the thing. So you could end up with a 5-story low income apartment high rise on this little postage stamp.
No, but why did this come to us 5 years ago when we approved this design? Because we thought for low income that this was the best design that would fit on that lot.
Well, it looks great.
I know.
But that's
So-
probably not going to be what gets built there if we don't.
But why did we have that, why were we involved in that decision then? If we're not now, if we wouldn't be this next round?
The Surplus Land Act became a thing now.
But it could be commercial.
It could be commercial.
So you're basically saying that this lot just has to be vacant, is what it's sounding like to me.
The approval that we have includes a planned development overlay, which does require this to be used for townhomes of similar design to
Yeah,
this. So
I think that
anybody
would be
else
good.
that comes in would have to come again through the planning commission to get an approval.
Okay.
So we
That's
can't
what
just
I'm
rezone
hoping.
it commercial?
Well, I'd love for it to be, well, there's something, anyway.
There's pluses and minuses, but.
Okay, so if that's true, if what Wes said is true, then I would,
Well, the question is,
It's
so
a-
if we were to not extend this and we were to go through rigmarole with the city, I mean, is that gonna speed up the chances of there being development on this property at all? And if not, then, I'm tended, I don't hesitate, I would say that we just extend the map for another year, since it's not gonna speed things up if we don't.
Nothing will change.
Yeah.
speeds it up for a year.
No, but the sake of development, just for development, is not always the right answer.
Right.
You
But there's
gotta-
no
you-
development.
You have to look at, if the rub is, if it's opened up to other developments that the state requires, or other low income that the state requires, you'll get something like the 850 that we have.
No, but what about what Wes just said? We already have an overlay for this to be townhomes.
Okay, it's still gonna be that size,
Yeah,
but you're not going to, okay.
so you guys are saying it's more, so
I would
this is
rather-
not
I
a
would-
good
I
deal
would rather-
any way around that.
I would rather take
for us.
my chances with the Veterans Administration for a year.
They,
To find the funding.
the design kind of went the way we wanted.
It
The
did.
design is
If-
fine.
If
We-
another,
we-
if another low-income townhousing
Yeah.
came in, would we
Can't they-
even have a say on the
Yeah.
design?
That's a question for Wes. I don't know.
This applicant requested and obtained a plan development overlay. Whoever comes in after could ask for anything they wanted as well. It would have to come before the planning commission for approval.
We may not get what we wanted, though,
Correct.
design-wise.
I mean, they could request a density increase, correct, if they wanted to?
Correct.
And we could deny it.
Correct.
So obviously
This is a bad program.
So
I'm
obviously,
happy with
this is not the only hot potato you've probably inherited, I'm sure.
It's like you said, a ping pong, man.
So my suggestion would be, as you're, we just want to express our concern.
Sure.
And if you're going to tell us, if you're going to tell me that you're going to do everything you can to make this project go forward, then I'm personally fine with accepting it the way it is. Looking at other options, there's really, our hands are tied. It's up to the rest of you guys. I'll go either way the rest of you guys vote here.
But you said you don't feel confident and you don't see how this, I mean, you're kind of unsure if this can be pulled off.
Look, in all candor and transparency, I am not a development funding person. Like, I'm an operations guy. We have a consultant who works with Kingdom and other funders. That's what he does. From my conversations with him, it's basically what I've expressed. We are trying to figure out a mechanism to build that thing. We don't know how that is going to work right now. We are absolutely interested in moving forward with it and getting it done. I cannot tell you in any sort of good faith that I know what that looks like right now.
Wasn't this also kind of a pilot program, kind of a new program? So this is uncharted territory, and that's probably also part of the struggle here. So I don't know. I feel like it's kind of, that's not a good foundation to get this successfully done. I mean, so I think it's okay to say, for me, to say, no, we're done. And let's open this up, and then when we do another pilot program next time, we'll know more, and we'll do a better job.
I will say that our consultant, Kent Trimble, is very successful in he's out of San Diego and he is a professional. This is what he does. If there is a way to do it, he will find that way. I cannot explain the details of that, but he's, if you look up Trimble and Associates, he's good.
I've heard the name. Has he been trying, though, for the last five years?
He's been trying. And so again, my position on it,
Yeah, I just think you have to move on.
The Feather and 18th just broke ground, and we extended that. That's on its last extension finally, right? So some of these projects wait till they're on their last extension before they start.
Is that a normal development?
A lot of them that I see that are that way.
Development's a tricky business.
I know.
It is, but I got to back Glenn up here, Natalie, on better what we know than what we don't. And we don't know what would get put in its place. This is a beautiful picture in front of us, and this is what we want.
Mm-hmm.
If we give them a chance to go ahead and build, we have new leadership in the command seat, and he's telling us that they're going to do their best to move forward with it. I mean, we see what we're getting here, what we potentially could get here, whereas the mystery of what we might get could be far worse, especially right next to the gateway.
Or put another way, I don't see a preferable alternative.
There you go. Much less words.
Well, we're open for a motion, and that's how we could figure out
Yeah,
how
before,
everybody's gonna.
before we do a motion, I think we just want to make sure that we, I'm sure you got the message already that we expressed that, we'd like to see movement on this and on other properties in the city.
Yeah,
And,
we want that.
we'd appreciate your consideration on that. And with that, I move to approve the tentative map extension and resolution 2026.02.
Do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Motion, motion passes 4 yeses, 1 no, 1 absent, 1 abstention.
But I do have still a question on Baldwin.
Yes, sir.
To address the neighbors' concerns. Do you have a local representative in the area who watches over these properties for you?
I mean, I'm as local as you get, and I'm out of Orangevale, so I'm an hour and 45 south. So we have a landscaper that we work with, which we've been remiss. But that is what, we don't have a property manager up here, no, like pulling security or anything like that.
Are you able to get one?
It's potential. I can certainly see if we can find, money for it. I'll talk to my CEO, no problem. I'm happy to do that.
There's several nonprofits in town, several of them, that do a lot of work in the city, and they just do it. I mean, there's a lot more than just one. There's one big one, but there's some smaller ones too, that just do a lot of work in the city. So if you put it out there, just for the betterment of the town, you might find a nonprofit out there that'd be willing to just help you.
That's great, yeah.
So I'm
I'm
saying,
just
throw it
trying
out
to
there.
address some of the neighbors' concerns of a
absolutely.
vacant, overgrown, that is a magnet for, all types of activities, to address their concerns.
Well, it's also against the code enforcement. I mean, the codes. We have codes so they have to be maintained.
Well,
You have to mow the weeds.
yes.
Okay.
But that's not
Just
always
saying.
done. So I'm just trying to make sure that those immediate concerns, if they live next door or buy them, you want to see something happen with them, see them maintained.
Yeah.
So if they have a local presence or they have a local other nonprofit who is tasked with overseeing the property, watching, keep an eye on it. So it doesn't, appear to be vacant or run down or dilapidated or whatever.
There's probably
case
a
might
neighbor
be.
you could pay.
That's all. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I appreciate the suggestions, and I will make the commitment to work on seeing what kind of solution we can come up with.
Yeah, and if you could just communicate with staff or to how you're gonna do that, that'd be great.
No
This way
problem.
they can maybe talk to neighbors if they have more questions about it or what's going on, and that would be very helpful for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I could, I'd like to scribble my phone number down on something for you. That way you can give me, or I can just give you my, no, I don't want to say it out loud. People in here might call me.
There's also been a problem communicating with who's in charge throughout this whole 7 years.
Yeah, I acknowledge that.
Who do you call when there's a problem?
Code enforcement or the police?
Call code compliance and fire department.
Right.
Okay, we need to move on to our next item.
Yeah. Appreciate your time
Thank
tonight.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you for having me up.
Grab that. Yep, give me a text.
I hate when my packet gets messed up.
Our next item will be item 5. Staff report, please.
Thank you, Commissioners. As you recall, back in, I think it was July, we presented to you a initial annexation concept, which included about 6 potential areas to be annexed. About 3,500 acres were in that. The City Council approved investigating the feasibility and approved a fiscal impact analysis. The areas were Long Bar, Rio de Oro, including the Sight and Glance property, the old Louisiana Pacific Mill, Oro Bay and Wilbur Road, west of the golf course, Thermalito, 3 options there, and Lincoln Ophir. As we learn more, the options narrow to three as we're proceeding. Three more practical ones, the Thermalito, Rio de Oro, and Lincoln Ophir. The feasibility is now complete, and you have that in your packet. The most positive fiscal impact is Lincoln Ophir, the option, and that's there on your screen. Staff has determined to pursue this annexation first for several good reasons, which are outlined in your staff report. One is the net fiscal benefit. It brings a bunch of industrial properties, some commercial properties, and no housing. And the housing is the component that tends to cost money over time. Secondly, there are 28 parcels in this primary area, the tan area there, and 21 parcels in the optional area. There are fewer landowners in there, and Emily, you have the number as to how many landowners there actually are?
There are 11, but one of them is going to be a same landowner as in the larger area, so it'd be 10 additional owners.
Okay. Also, there's lots of active existing industrial activity in the area. Yosemite Clean, which has been talked about for a long time, it's quiescent, is now resurfaced and apparently has some funding available. That project is being processed by the county at the moment. Many of the owners in the area have expressed interest in annexation. And then the last item is that as we pursue the Oro Verde public utility, which the City Council has approved, has formed, our intent is to bring power to the industrial area, which is to the west there, including Coppers and north of Coppers. We've been talking to various industrial users there, and probably 6 to 10 of them might take advantage of the power that's being generated from the solar project that this body approved before, 100 acres of solar. So the map before you has some corrections. The parcel count is different. The possible addition of the 70 acres is an idea that came out of the Development Review Committee meeting as to why not add that area as well. Staff is seeking comments and a recommendation to council to proceed to refine the area of annexation and to, in the future, bring a specific hearing in front of this planning commission and then the city council to actually approve the annexation. It might be as early as June 26th. The schedule in your packet is optimistic. It has completion in November, but so far we're still on track. Staff recommends that this commission recommend moving it to the council for April 7th to get permission to proceed with the annexation.
Thank you. This is regular business, but do we have any public comment on this item?
We do. We have 2 speaker cards on this item. We'll begin with Paula Daniluk and follow that with Cash Colby.
Good evening. I'm Paula Daniluk. I'm the Director of Development Services for Butte County. And the county would like to suggest that the city include the area to the north of this. That is the disadvantaged urban community of the Virginia Avenue. So including the cemetery on up through Virginia Avenue in the annexation. Thank you.
Okay. Up next, we have Cash Colby.
I own the mini storage area, which is just located there below the cemetery. A friend of mine owns the other mini storage, and we'd like to stay out of this. We're perfectly happy with the county. We love our supervisors. We love the services we get from the county. We love the sheriff's response in time. I understand your fiscal benefit from putting us in, but we'd like to stay out. So I don't see why that line can't be drawn outside my property. So that's what I'd like to suggest. But I also would like to know, I keep hearing what the benefit is to joining the city, and what would be the benefit for me?
Thank you. We can't comment on,
You can't comment on it?
not
Okay.
during public speak.
Okay. Well, I don't want to list, because, you know, all the councilmen and the mayor and so forth are my really good friends. I wouldn't want to list the reasons why I don't want to be in the city, but I would like to remain in the county. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I have for speaker cards.
Thank you. If this stayed west of the old railroad,
That would be certainly a good option to pursue. The old railroad line is, cuts through, well, let me, does this,
Yeah, can you do it with your,
doesn't work. The mouse, yeah, right there.
the mouse,
down
yeah.
Through the,
Yeah. There
through
you
the
go.
middle,
Railroad
right
line.
there. So if we stayed west of that, that would exclude the two mini storage areas that are along Lincoln Avenue. There is one other requirement of state law, which we will have to consider, that has come to my attention today. It is that there are disadvantaged unincorporated communities
yeah.
that must also be annexed if an annexation greater than 10 acres is contiguous to one of those disadvantaged urban communities, unincorporated communities. And our general plan has DUC number 8, which is contiguous to this proposed annexation area, and it goes to the south. It includes the yellow area, and it goes south to the end of the sphere of influence. So we will have to consider taking that in. It is 458 acres, so by law we'll have to adjust our boundaries to take that into consideration as well.
would that still have to be taken if the project stayed west of the railroad?
Yes, because it's contiguous, and the duck includes part of that tan area, so that we're kind of stuck there.
So what you're saying is basically the yellow is going to extend all the way down to the far point
Correct.
of the tan.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that changes the
That's quite a
numbers.
few people, yeah.
That definitely changes the
So,
numbers.
for the better or for the worse? We don't know. You have to do another analysis?
That would bring in, we don't necessarily have to do another fiscal analysis, but that would bring in a number of residences. There's a mobile home park down there, and there's a bunch of small rural households and such, perhaps 40 or 50 different parcels, and each of them will have to be polled and informed and invited to comment.
I know that it's a difficult area drainage-wise and maintenance-wise. I've been recently surveying that for a project. Yeah,
The add-on part?
from the yellow down. to
Doing
where
the
they're being-
residential south
yeah.
of Kusel, yeah, it's definitely a flood
Doesn't
area.
flow very well.
Would it, if we had to include residential in the annexation, does it have to be in that direction? Would we be able to entertain the county's request of annexing the residential along Lincoln Boulevard to the north of this area as an
Yes,
alternative?
we could entertain that as an alternative.
So you don't have that request highlighted on here, right?
No, this
Okay.
just came up today, so.
Okay.
I think that would, if we could, if instead of the yellow south, if we could get the cemetery north, west of Lincoln, I think that would be easier on the city.
There are some 90 individual parcels on that Virginia Avenue and in that area. So that brings in a number of residential parcels. And
Would it just be west of Lincoln and not east of Lincoln?
No, Virginia's east.
Yeah, Virginia's east. The county's suggesting, yeah, there's a strip of development here. I can see it on my, because I pulled it up on the overhead on
too.
my phone here. There's a strip of development on each side of Lincoln Boulevard going up all the way to about where the split is with Myers.
And I think we have that railroad grade anyway that passes through that.
The old railroad grade passes along Lincoln up to where it curves off just before the rescue mission.
Yeah, I'd like to see a bike path someday.
That would be cool.
That would be.
That long, narrow thing right there, that's Virginia Avenue on both sides of it. And that Lincoln runs through the middle there.
That's
That's Virginia.
That's Virginia over there. On the west side of Lincoln, Marysville Baggett.
Yeah.
Right here. I thought that was in the city right there.
Marysville Baggett Road is the city line.
Oh, okay.
And north just a bit there, Kayla.
Basically, it cuts over at Palm Avenue.
Other way.
Oh, duh.
The city limits go right to where her mouse is right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. The city limit is Oroville Baggett.
So I don't see why we couldn't entertain the request of the county, like Warren's saying, and just cut over and take that strip rather than go further south into Palermo. What are your thoughts, Wes?
Just the west side of Lincoln, if that was possible.
You don't want to just do the west? You don't want to do the east?
We're going to have to look at it in pretty, quite a bit of detail.
Yeah.
Every new parcel that is added
Yeah.
gets a vote
Costs money.
as
and
to
they-
whether they want to annex or not. And if 25% file a protest, then it has to go to an election. If 51% protest, then the
I can-
annexation is dead.
I can almost guarantee you'll have a major protest if you try and annex south of Kusel.
So we should we're probably not gonna vote on this tonight because,
You have options here. You can ask to look at it again, but we can have the same discussion at City Council on April 7th as well. So you could recommend moving it forward with all the uncertainties.
Well, it sounds like we
that
need to
it's-
do some calculus before we, to get some information before we can make any decisions, so.
yeah, and if taking those residences, it's just gonna cost more money, it's gonna be negative, so I'm not for that.
Okay, we'll take it back for analysis. If
Appreciate
that's
that.
if that's the will of the board.
Could you talk about anything that is possibly going in that brown area?
The field?
The
Stump's Field?
future development?
Which
No,
brown
no,
area?
No, not on
There's
this,
a
the annexation, the Apex Yard and,
Yeah, if you can go back to the tan map then.
Oh. Sure.
So Ophir cuts through the middle there, right at the top edge of the yellow. And most of that is west of the old rail line is owned by Logan Banford. And the Banford family owns a bunch of the real estate in that tan area. And Mr. Banford has actually purchased the former Setzer Forest Product Mill, which is way down there in that tip. Mr. Banford is quite interested in being annexed because he sees lots of advantages to that. The Yosemite Clean Project is slated to go there in his land just north of Ophir. So that's the site that has been selected. It's still out of the city limits, unincorporated, and they are moving forward with processing their permits.
But what you're saying is right now, due to what you've received for information today, we can't just have the tan area.
Right.
We have to incorporate something else.
It appears so, yeah.
Does that include anywhere in town, or does it have to be connected to this?
If it is a duck connected to an annexation area, it also has to be annexed.
Gotcha.
Is this a consensus, or is this a motion and approval, or is this a?
If the motion, I'm sorry, not motion, if it's a general consensus, I can do by head nod to take it back for analysis, then a head nod is sufficient. Okay.
Why aren't you going east of Lincoln?
Development that's north of the high school and the elementary school there, or?
Well, I mean, at Lincoln and Ophir, you know, that River Ranch project may or may not get built, but it most likely will get built at some point. That's 134 single families, and they got 4 acres of commercial. To the north, you have all that property north of Ophir going up to Monte Vista. That is, they have all that new sewer out there, or that will be out there. That will get developed.
The city does not want to annex that before June.
We're not doing it before June, we're in March.
That's what you said.
Oh.
The Monte Vista Sidewalk project is this June, and that happened on Lincoln, the city annexed before the sidewalk project.
Yeah, no, we want all the sidewalks. Shouldn't take stuff in.
Thank you for that information.
That's public knowledge. It's on Valley Contractor Exchange.
You're saying Monte Vista's gonna get sidewalks to Lincoln?
From Autry to Lincoln.
Sweet.
South Orville SRT project. I believe it bids on the 1st.
So consensus?
Yeah,
Bring it
consensus.
back
Yeah.
with a.
In a few months.
Showing us which
July.
residential you might need?
We'll bring it back before then.
Yeah.
With landscaping. Well, we'll get it all done.
Okay, if we are good with that, we will move to item 3, staff report.
Good evening, Commissioners. I will be presenting item 3. It is going to be the public, quasi-public to downtown mixed-use zone change, GPA 26-02 and ZC 26-02. First of all, please disregard the word draft on the staff report. It's the first one I've ever done, and I didn't remove it like I should have. So this is going to be a general plan amendment and zone change to rezone 2020 Montgomery Street, APM 012, 032, 014, and 1453 Downer Street, APN 012, 094, 008, from public, quasi-public to downtown mixed use. You can see both parcels highlighted in blue on this zoning map and within
Yeah,
your.
they don't fit in.
Within your packets. The City of Oroville is requesting approval of a zoning change to modify the zoning of 2 downtown properties identified as the previously stated parcels. The proposed amendment would change the current public or quasi-public zoning to downtown mixed use. The city has identified the parcels as appropriate for future mixed-use development consistent with downtown revitalization goals. No development approvals are requested at this time, and in fact, both parcels are fully developed and occupied at this time. Any future development of the properties would require separate review and permitting in accordance with applicable zoning and developmental standards. Staff recommends a public hearing on the proposed general plan amendment and zone change for both parcels, and we recommend that we adopt a notice of exemption as the appropriate level of environmental review and approve the general plan amendment GPA 2602, the zone change ZC 26-02, adopting a resolution P 2026-07, and adopting the relevant ordinance.
Thank you. And this is public hearing. So is there anyone here from the, we'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this item?
I have no submitted speaker cards, but I do want to note we did receive several by mail from one individual, Martha Edwards, and they were in support.
Thank you. We will close public comment and open discussion between commissioners and staff. Is there an applicant that wishes to speak on this item? Oh, okay.
These guys.
It's kind of a mistake. We don't know how it happened. It's
Okay.
always been mixed use. Nobody knows how it.
Well, we've been working to clean those up.
Yeah,
so,
we've been cleaning it up, so we're gonna make it.
This is just cleaning
Hate
it.
these double-sided things.
Okay, so we will, does anybody have any questions or comments?
Nope, I'm ready to move.
We're open for a motion.
I make a motion.
I second it.
Is that good enough?
Yep, perfect.
That's a-
Agendized, correct?
As agendized.
It's a good zoning.
It's a good zoning. It's the best zoning.
It's the best zoning you can
That's
get.
It's the
kind-
best
And
zoning.
passes
It's
6
exactly
yeses,
the
1
kind of
absent.
thing we're trying to
MXD,
clean
we
up.
love
yeah.
it.
Okay, and then 4.
Maybe it was an accident.
Sorry, that was my fault. I'm sorry, that was me.
Okay,
Go ahead.
that was,
Now I forgot where we are. Oh, we're at our health services overlay district.
okay, moving on to item 4, staff report, please.
Last discussion of the night. We're going back to the Health Services Overlay District discussion, which has been brought to you guys a few times for consideration. Updates since last review. Back in February, the revised overlay map now includes an extension of the overlay boundary further along the Foothill Boulevard corridor to Orange Avenue. I also included the remaining parcels along the corridor previously discussed by the commission. In the very right corner, you see a little bit darker red that was mentioned to be included in there. And then there was also evaluation of additional properties that may support future medical wellness or related professional services. So first, going based on the map, I have a few maps in your guys' packet tonight. This is map number 1, which is still that central, more condensed map, just including those last 3 parcels that had been excluded back in February. And then also on a recommendation, I did extend it further up to, I believe that was Orange Avenue up there. So as you can see, that's the one with Orange Avenue, and it didn't fit on one pretty piece of paper, so you have a north view and a south view in your packet. So we'll be discussing these 2 maps tonight. Staff does recommend the support of map 1, keeping it more condensed. This is because part of the overlay does permit health services by right without the use of a use permit. So part of this, I think, is just to keep that condensed, keeping those services close together to create kind of that little hub that we had been discussing. I do just have some hesitancies about just having those like spider legs, I guess, branching out. But that's up to your guys' decision, your discussion, whatever you think is most appropriate for this area. And then some other conversation that we had just among staff. I did include some regulatory clarity and sensitive uses. As part of the development of the health services overlay, staff has identified the importance of clearly defining how certain medical or health-related uses would be classified and regulated within the overlay area. This overlay is intended to work in conjunction with existing municipal code provisions. It would not override existing prohibitions or restrictions currently in place. For example, uses that are not permitted within the city, such as commercial cannabis operations, would continue to be prohibited regardless of overlay designation. So that was just a conversation that staff had regarding medical marijuana use or medical cannabis use and things like that. So things that are clearly prohibited in the city would stay prohibited regardless of medical reasoning. And then next steps towards adoption that I have here. So refine the draft municipal code language. I do have some more revisions in your packet here tonight that have been updated. Now there's no use permits there. Everything would be an administrative permit if needed to be moved up. The development of potential accessibility and infrastructure coordination strategies. The mayor discussed or had a meeting with BCAG earlier today. Amy spoke with him, but she's no longer here anymore. But I guess BCAG is just kind of surveying the area to redistribute bus routes. So we will be speaking with them to prioritize this area in specific as we want more bus routes and people being able to get to this area. Next would also be the preparation of environmental documents proceeded to CEQA. That is not something that needs to be done for this project. It is an exempt project. I would be doing outreach to affected property owners and stakeholders as early as next week if you guys are ready for that and can decide on a map tonight, as well as installation of informal signage within the overlay area to notify the public. I do have to speak with the Parks Department and Wade about how we would possibly get those signages, but I can also start on that as soon as next week as well if this is something we want to pursue. We could schedule a formal public hearing before the Planning Commission as early as next month for April's meeting, if you guys believe it's ready for that. And then following April's meeting, if you guys approve it, we can move it up for recommendation to the City Council for final consideration as early as May. I did also just want to bring up something that was brought to my attention today. We got a special events permit for something titled Red Alert Save Our Hospital that is being hosted by the California Nursing Association on Saturday, April 25th, right after the public hearing. So I will be speaking with Pat about possible city tabling at this event. I believe we would have people that are interested in this project at this event, and hopefully getting some postage around that area before this event as well. So that is what I have for you tonight.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Who wants to start?
So, I like
The map.
number 3.
Wait, number 3 in the map?
Because you've got medical use there. To me, it would seem you want to keep that in the overlay, right? If you take it to orange.
Yes.
But they can still have medical use.
I'm sorry?
They can still have medical there. It just wouldn't be, they'd have to have a use permit.
This is more for new construction, for people building new offices, waiving the use permits. So if something like Aegis comes around, it'd be like, here's a spot for you.
No,
Build right here.
understandable.
Because you got a trailer park, going up Orange Avenue there, there's a trailer park there, there's a few things that are just not conducive to having the medical facility there.
But then there are.
There are already existing ones, of course, yeah, right, I mean, I live like an eighth of a mile up the street here. So, yeah, no, you got the dentist office, you got the chiropractor, I mean, you got a lot of stuff that's.
Yeah,
over there.
and
Right.
there's an old dentist, who's next to my building he owns, I don't know, it's almost 3 acres. He wanted to do a dentist.
Oh,
3 or 4
nice.
medical buildings. So I don't want him to have to do a use permit.
We could take the overlay, though, we could skip an area, you know what I mean? We don't have to make it all one continuous thing. We can get rid of the needle.
But then you're doing like a spot zone. You
Yeah.
don't want to do that. You want to just,
Yeah.
I don't see the downside of just including it as an overlay.
It should be noted that only some medical facilities need use permits. Dentists and doctors and normal medical services are office professional uses, and those are approved by right in the MXC zone.
Right.
And so when you talk about outpatient and hospitals treatment, certain treatments, then that's what triggers the use permit, such as Aegis.
Right, so my thought was, instead of putting a treatment program, because I don't want to use their name, I'm not trying to badmouth them in any way, but instead of trying to put a treatment program next to the trailer park where kids potentially could be and all that, is we're taking them down around next to the hospital, and that's where they eliminate the use permit is over there, that's all. I'm not trying to exclude anybody.
Yeah, I completely agree with Commissioner Zillich. This is when that presents itself to us again, we show them that we have this for them.
And it's
And
near
there's
the
no homes.
hospital.
You know, there's no homes, or, well, I mean, I'm not gonna say there's no homes on Foothill and all that. I'm just saying that this is just a better place for them to build, would be out there by Shear Memorial or between Shear Memorial and Starbucks out there somewhere.
And I agree on capping it a little bit, because there are too many conflicting uses as you go.
But that doesn't affect doctors or dentists. I mean, he wants to build a medical complex with offices. That's all legal. That's already there without a use permit. That's my right.
Perfect.
Okay. So we like map number 1?
Okay.
Is that what we're all saying?
Ed, is this a consensus or is this a motion?
A motion, please, and then can you indicate whether staff should initiate the formal adoption process?
Can I ask one question? Do we get to look at the language again? You said there'd be, so like next time you brought it back, because I kind of want to go over the language
Oh, it's in here.
one more time. I know. I read it before when I.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
have the language.
And we could always change it, but I mean, we could always adjust it next time if it looked like something, we just want to massage something a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do a public hearing, voting, and then on the condition of
A little
changing
change of something, if there's
Yeah.
something. Okay, good. I just wanted to look at it one more time.
I got you. Yeah, good.
Open for motion.
I'll make a motion to accept this item as agendized with map number 1 and to send it on to council.
A second.
Motion passes, 6 yeses, 1 absent.
Thank you. That
And now we're.
ends public comment, or public meeting.
Does it? We don't have a 5? Did we do 5?
Was it, I think we went 5, 3, 4, correct?
Oh.
5 was the.
Yep, we did all of them.
We did them all.
We're just
Yeah,
up to
we're good.
reports and discussions now.
Okay.
Commissioner reports. Any commissioners have a report?
Well, we have our Historic Preservation Award nominations coming up, and I am late, but I'm going to nominate the Manassian Law Firm House. And I was hoping that you were going to have a nomination too. We only have a few more days.
I've instructed people to send in the.
Okay.
To send in the.
And I have the
I'll check- I
application
will check
too.
on
So Noel's not here. She keeps asking me about it, but
March
we-
31st is the deadline,
March
correct?
31st, and see, we're at the 26th, so we're fine.
Probably city.
I'll do
Plenty
it
of
this
time.
weekend.
The
Yeah,
city will be closed,
on the 31st?
probably.
You can send it via email to Noel.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
I don't think Cesar Chavez Day is observed.
And the county's closed.
We're not closed.
Really?
Yeah, city does not get that holiday.
Chavez Day.
You still do that?
And you're not
I heard they weren't doing that. I don't know.
Well, every
Things
city
change slowly
municipality is
sometimes.
doing their own thing.
Oh, okay.
So are we done with that one?
Yeah, that was it. I was just gonna say, yeah, I'll have a nomination. If anyone else has any other nominations, you have 5 days.
So as an item for a commission report, I wanted to bring up this issue about grazing animals not being specifically allowed in the RL zone. Because, you know, if you were to pull up a zoning map and we were all to take a look at it, and I don't know if it's easy to do, I just pulled it up on my phone. Thanks to staff for making sure it's back up and running.
It's back up,
by
I
the
know,
way.
it's great.
The RL zone is the primary buffer zone between the fire area up the hill and the city. It's the area that really, you know, needs to be fire safe to protect the city, and grazing is one of the primary ways that we want to do that. Not only do we want to make sure that that's allowed in zones like RL as it's zoned currently, but we want to encourage it. So it seems like we need to make a change to our code, you know, either to add grazing animals as an allowed use with the same restrictions as it is in the RR zones. It would be is perfectly fine. I mean, I have grazing animals. I'm in an RR zone, and I'm well within the guidelines for under our code. But there are some large properties here. There are a considerable number of horse properties in this that I don't know if the city even knows about, since I guess they're not supposed to have horses. I don't know what's so.
We should change it.
Yeah, it would behoove us to make this change and,
Yeah.
and allow grazing animals.
So that is your request to come back as a future agenda item?
Yes.
Yeah.
please.
I think we just need to worry about the size of the lot and location, because I'm in an RL zone, but literally my neighbor isn't.
Yeah, and in the code, there are, it tells you how many animals per 10,000 square feet. So.
Oh, it does, yeah.
So it would be, you know, if you don't have 10,000 square feet.
Right.
then you wouldn't be allowed to have an
No,
animal.
100%, I agree. I just want to make sure that caveat's in there, that it's not, you can still have an animal, one animal, you know, if you're up to that square footage. I
Because there
wouldn't
are
want to
some.
change the language, that's
Because
all.
there are some smaller lots in this
Mhm.
RL zone, and it includes some subdivisions in here, so.
But what's the minimum in the RL? 1 acre?
No. I
Bit
don't
sometimes
know.
smaller than that?
I don't know what the minimum is. There are subdivisions with smaller well,
That are in
much
an
smaller
RL.
lots than an
So,
acre.
so my neighbor probably has a quarter-acre lot. I have
Okay.
almost an acre, but my
Yeah.
neighbor has a quarter-acre lot. They're right next to me in an RL.
So it's mixed.
Yeah, it's all
It's
all
all-
way different
Oh, okay.
sizes.
Okay.
Totally different, yeah.
Then I see why we had it restricted, but we should look at it.
Any other commissioner reports? And that was already the Historical Advisory Commission report. Staff reports?
Yeah, just some upcoming items that I've received that will probably be coming to you guys next month. We have received an application for a development review committee meeting for McDonald's construction at 2700 Oro Dam. This is the former Rite Aid that went out of business. They're planning on tearing that building down, reconstructing new building, putting a McDonald's there. It will have to go to a public hearing, and it will need a use permit due to the driveway. They do not believe they will be ready for the public hearing meeting by next month, but we will be having the discussion meeting next month. I also received an application for a carport and garage construction at 2997 Lower Wyandotte. This will also just be going to the Development Review Committee. Well, most likely just going to the Development Review Committee, but it's a very large garage structure in the front setback, so that will be something that we review. I will also have a general plan progress report, hopefully for you guys next month at the Planning Commission. I will be receiving a lot merger application for 1567 Huntoon Street, also associated with Jordan's Crossing. They have a lot of development ideas there that we can't currently approve based on just the lots. So they are moving forward with a lot merger to do that up to code. And then we received an application for 2433 Montgomery Street Apartments. The current proposal doesn't go by code, so I have told the applicant to move forward with a use permit. We will see if that comes back to us. And then 2905 Lincoln Street will also be turning in a use permit application for a pretty large work training center for disabled adults.
So on the McDonald's, are they, that's a big lot for just a McDonald's. Are they putting anything else in
Yeah,
there?
it must have their activity center.
They have a few maps that they've submitted. One of them does include splitting the lot as well. So yes, we will be discussing that.
I would imagine that's too much room for just a McDonald's, even with a big play place or something. Yeah, there's
Yes.
got to be something else going to go there too.
Yes.
What about car stacking? I mean, are they gonna have a nice,
Yes.
so that it doesn't go on the road at all?
Yeah.
Do we have a McDonald's?
Yeah, they have, the map does have.
I just don't know
We
why,
need another
a
one.
McDonald's?
There's very
Why?
limited
There's one right
options-
down the
There's
street.
very limited options for lunch.
Yes.
around
I'm just,
Old
I
School.
guess, I don't know. Why
I'm
not?
sure something a little healthier
Panera.
than McDonald's.
No, but I mean, a McDonald's?
Bomber, like
Support
more
of
fast
Panera
food for
Bread.
the kids, okay.
Unfortunately, I don't have any say on what they put there.
Yes, no.
Oh, it'll make
I-
money.
I just,
I know.
I'm a little shocked
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
that,
Another Chipotle
You know,
would
and it
be a
is a big
healthier
site.
choice, but I guess we already have one.
Wes, you have anything or?
Oh, I see what that is, the apartments.
If you prefer an alternative investment.
Yeah, I know, a big investment.
yeah.
Okay, if that's
I
it, we
understand.
will adjourn to April 23rd, 2026 at 6 PM.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's no doubt it'll do well. That'll do very well.
I'm surprised that our little city can handle two.